Good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Wednesday, and it is build day 132. Yes, build day 132 on the construction schedule out at FELIZ. Today, the primary focus, roofs. Roof. And that's what I expect to be watching a lot today. And I'm doing the drainage on the rear stairwell. And they're going to be working in the CR, and they're going to be doing plastering, and they're going to be doing skim coat. And I think that's most of what's going on today. So a lot of what we saw yesterday, but with a lot more attention to the roof today. So anyway, I just want to make a comment to the user who made a comment about me shaving my beard, that I need to get my beard trimmed back. You are not helping out the cause of man. Man should be able to do whatever he wants. I had to deal with my wife this morning for like 15 minutes on our chat about getting this done. So thanks, but no thanks. Anyway, I need to, oh, hold on. Hello? Yes? Yes, hi, Police Officer Ibarra. How are you today? And you want the copy of the passport? And where would you like to pick that up at? Oh, okay, yeah, that would be great. If you do that, that would be easier than me print it out, and I will just email it to you. Is that okay? Oh, no. Uh-oh. Okay, anyway, what that was all about, I didn't mention it yesterday. No. I am not under suspicious and being tracked by the police here, the PNP inside the Philippines. I had a wonderful visit yesterday. The Barangay Capitan Nap and one of the local police officers for the PNP stopped by FELIZ yesterday. And the reason that they stopped by, and it wasn't just my location, is they were stopping by all the residents, all the foreigners who actually are retired and are living in the Philippines, and what the PNP do to aid in with transition and to assist and give you some understanding about what your local police force offers to you. They do a courtesy stop by, and they stopped by yesterday, and I got to speak with PO1, I think that's Police Officer First Class or something like that, Ibarra. And it was a wonderful conversation that we had at Bahay Kubo yesterday. The three of us, the Capitan Nap, PO1, Ibarra, and myself, we had a really good conversation, and I got the number to the police station if you ever need to call the police station. And maybe we might have a visit by the police chief himself, and he can actually sit down with me in the Bahay Kubo, and maybe we can do a Bahay Kubo time with them. That would be great, wouldn't it? Well, anyway, I am running late, and I need to get out to the build site because I want to see them start this morning with the roof building. We have a little bit of light sprinkle on and off this morning. I'm hoping that's not going to deter from any of the construction. Usually it will blow over. It doesn't look like a massive heavy cloud thing this morning. So anyway, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Good morning, magandang umaga. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lila Janet. Good morning, Michelle. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Where were you yesterday?
Why were you?
This morning, yesterday morning when I came through, there was nobody here.
Really?
Nobody. Nobody was tending the store.
Oh.
Did you watch my video?
No.
I thought it was like Night of the Living Dead. I walked through the town and there was nobody. There was nobody. And I'm walking around and I'm like, this is eerie.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a scary movie. You ever watch a scary movie? And you walk through the town and there's nobody around.
Nobody?
That's the way it was yesterday morning.
Oh.
There was no. There was first. There was nobody. Oh, it was Ruben was the only person standing over there, and I'm like, I'm like, Ruben, where is everybody? He's like,
Oh, your episode. 1 week episode.
you are behind 1 week?
Yes, because of the Wi-Fi. We have no. They fix it 2 days ago.
It's fixed now?
Yeah.
Ah, so you can catch up.
Yeah.
You should have. Why don't you have Wi-Fi? Can your Wi-Fi reach out here from your house?
No.
That's not strong enough?
Yeah.
Ah, I gotta hook you up. I gotta hook you up. I can make a
How?
I can make an extender for you. I can show you how to do a extender. Morning, Roy. How are you this morning? Huh?
You want to ride?
No,
No,
I'm gonna walk. But thank you anyway. Your wife volunteered. You didn't volunteer. I know who my real friend is here. Your wife is my real friend. Are you going into town again? No. Ah, okay, all right. All right, I'll see you later. Thanks for the ride. Well, as you can see, everything is going like every single day. Everybody's got their assigned tasks. Everybody's working on those assigned tasks. We're starting from the roof. We got the people on the roof. They're putting up the truss up there. And then we have the people on the first floor. A lot of plaster work, like I said. We got the stair team, not the original stair team, but the stair team that's been working the last couple days. They are engaged in the stairs, working on the floating stairs inside there. We have people doing plastering on the outside. We have people doing plastering on the inside. In the CR, in the common CR on the first floor. Then down in the basement, we start going down there. We see that we have attention being taken care of with they're still working on the drainage and the catch basin, and they're doing that on the basement area. And also you see they're doing skim coat in the bottom. Now, somebody had a question about application of the skim coat, how much time they were supposed to be in between. They said something like 28 days. I'm sure it's not 28 days or 21 days. It was something. I'm positive it's not that number. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to on the bag it says you can put multiple layers, but it doesn't say. It says refer to the technical manual for any questions concerning when you put layer over layer over layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get a hold. The phone number they have on there is not good. It's probably a Realism number and from a long time ago, and they just are not going to change it on the bag. So I'm going to try to look for the technical data online. If not, contact the company to find. And I have a feeling it's really only like 24 hours or something like that. That's what I expect, because that would be normal curing anyway. So let's do that real quick. I have to submit some paperwork through some emails, and then we'll get back to the construction here in just a little bit. Well, anyway, I was able to find the Bostik Ultra Fino skim coat, which is what we are using in the basement. That's what we're using for the skim coat. And I wanted to find what the curing is, so that we can do. I want to make sure we're not putting in the second coat on too soon. So I went online, and let me show you what I found online. I was actually able to go to the website, the Bostik website, and download a spec data sheet. And the spec data sheet shows on the let's look. Talks about application, and it says on the third paragraph and under application, it says to increase thickness, the second coat may be applied just before the first coat is about to set. So you can actually put a second coat on to make it a little bit thicker, and it will adhere to the first coat, and you can make it thicker. But that's not the way the guys are doing here, because they're actually trying to make it where it's building up small coats at a time, like you would do like when you paint on a car or something like that, or when you're working on sheetrock inside your house and you're doing the mud application to it. You put a little bit on there, you spread it on there, you sand it down, you get all the anomalies out of it, the roughness, and then you do it over and over again, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, whatever you feel is appropriate. So also, excuse me, also it says under the curing time, if you look right here, it says the curing time is 12 to 48 hours. So I think we are good. I don't think we have to wait 21 days or anything like that. Now, it could possibly be the subscriber who said that it takes you should wait so many days in between, because I think they said they had some bubbling or something. It could be on the way that the people actually doing the initial application, maybe they put the initial application on too thick, and that could have probably caused the bubbling. You see our guys put it on very thin. They use the flat blade. What do they call it? The flat blade. I've been calling it a spatula, but it's not a spatula. A trowel. Okay, the flat edge steel trowel. That's what they're using down is the flat edge steel trowel, and but they're putting it on very thin, and they will be doing sanding in between. And it also says inside here, when sanding, use sandpaper 120 or above. And our guys will be using some sandpaper in between, probably the second and third layer that they put on there. So anyway, I feel confident that we're good to go on to that. But I had to check, and thanks to the subscriber who actually had some concern on that. And you probably need to find out why you had some bubbling on yours. So you're probably saying to yourself, James, I see now that we have this grate down here, and it's going to collect the water, but how can it collect the water when it is above the concrete? And you have concrete back here, and it is below this right here. Won't the water set down there? No, this isn't the finished action. We have the set in concrete right now. It's going, and it was all already leveled. So this end's just a little bit higher than this end, and we can check that right here. Take a look at the level, and you can see the bubble inside there, and this end is lower. So the water will flow down towards the catch basin down here. But when we put the thin set and we put the tiles here, it's going to be above level right here. And what we will do, we will backfill inside here, and we will make this grade go so that anything that flows down here, all water will go down to the lowest point. This will be the lowest point at that time. So it will catch all the water that's inside the stairwell basin here. They're in the process now of working on the other pipe that's going to take it from this side. We're going to have a grate just like that one over there, and it's going to go that way as well. Now, I thought I knew what every nook and cranny inside my design drawing was, and every part of the house, because I've looked at the plans maybe 1,000 times, but I have no idea. We're in the stairwell, and from the kitchen, and we're walking down, and this goes to the outside, and I have no idea what this hole is for. My builder's not here right now. I'll ask him when he gets back. I have no idea what that's for. I think it's just I think they just didn't put a concrete hollow block in there, and they're finishing the outside wall, so I don't know. So you're probably wondering, James, why is he sanding down the ceiling since it's just the basement? Well, the ceiling, the roof inside the basement, even though it's concrete, and we're going to keep the, we're not going to do any drop down ceiling inside here. Even though it's the basement, it's going to be finished just like the walls. They're going to put the skim coat on there. They're going to put a skim coat on there as well. And they're going to do all the sanding, and it's going to be nice and smooth and a nice finish, even though it's the basement. And that's how this builder works. I was right. There's supposed to be a concrete hollow block there. They're gonna fill it up. Well, something I want to talk about today, just before lunchtime, about 10:30 this morning, we had a visit by the door and window company, the one that we talked to up at Worldbex, and they were doing their follow-up because it's about time for us to start getting price quotations for the windows. We're only doing windows with those folks. We're sliding glass doors also with them. The main door in the front and some of the single doors, we're looking at some other companies. So the representative came down and we discussed some pricing, we discussed some options, things. So when you are, this company handles two major companies when it comes to UPVC. It's a company out of China and it's a company out of Germany. The prices are different. Of course, usually the prices from Europe are a little bit higher than China, and they were. But they also, the Germans have very good products and very good quality. I've dealt with them before. But that doesn't mean that the Chinese is inferior to the German. It just means I'm not familiar with them. So we discussed some details on different prices. We discussed color options. We are going with I believe it is dark walnut is what we're using for our UPVC framing that goes on. Then you talk about windows. You talk about tempered or non-tempered, standard glass, or like I said, or tempered glass. And we are going with tempered glass everywhere except for the basement. We're looking at different options for the basement because we can skimp a little bit on the basement windows because those aren't the decorative windows that we want to see. We just need some clear light, so those aren't even going to be tinted. We're going to have regular clear glass that goes inside of the basement areas. They're very small. They're only like this wide. Each one's like about this long. There's going to be like 3 in each segment of the basement. So that being said, for the main windows, we're going to select, I believe it's called bronze reflective. We wanted something, the options you have are clear, and then you can have tinted, and then you can have reflective. And when you have the tints and the reflective, you can have different types. You can have like a smoke type of a tint or reflective, or you can have like a metallic mirror type of a reflective, I guess. You can have the bronze. And we started looking with the design that we have here on Villa FELIZ, and since we're trying to go for a Mediterranean, Tuscan, European kind of a theme, I believe all of us, my architect, the representative from the door and window company, and myself, we think that the reflective bronze is actually going to be the best option. Another option that you have is going to be fixed windows, or windows that have louvers, the windows that you can open up, whether it goes side to side, from the bottom to outward, whatever kind of side. You also have an option on getting windows that are mechanized. You have electronic motor that goes to it, and they can open and close the windows. We are opting, as I've said from the very beginning when we went to the World Bex convention, we are going to do, for the 2 windows that are in the front of the great room that are way up on the second floor area that we can't reach, we're going to use a mechanic. There's a motor that actually opens them and closes them, and all of them will open out like this. So when the rain comes down, it will go on the window, drip off, and the wind won't come in. Plus, all of the windows that we're opting for are all going to have screens. We don't want any bugs in the house. But we live in the Philippines. Obviously, you're going to get bugs every now and then. And then one of the things that the sales rep is going to do, they're going to bring you a price quotation sheet. And they're going to break down things. It's going to show, they are going to start out with, and it's going to show like the sizes of the windows, and every single one of the windows per your specifications. They will come out later, before they actually start producing the windows. They will come again and they will measure all the openings to make sure everything is good before they start manufacturing your windows. And on your spec sheet, it'll say quantity, it'll say size, it'll say all the options that you have, whether you have screens, whether you have tinting, whether you have reflection, whether they're clear, whether they're tempered, whether they're non-tempered, and the size. All of ours are going to be 6 millimeter thick glass that we're going to use for our windows. So anyway, we will go into more detail because we're just still waiting on the sales quotation. This is a preliminary draft right here, and today was the day that we went through and we verified it's a checks and balances. This is exactly what we need, and we found out we missed some windows. We found out we had the wrong size on a couple of windows and things like that. So this is when you make sure that everything is correct before you accept the sales quotation and you put in any type of deposit and everything like that. When we get the actual sales quotation, we'll discuss that a little bit more, and what we'll do, we'll talk about the terms and conditions of the payments, and that will be another day. Well, here it is. It's 5:15. The crew are done for the day. They're out of here, and we're going to do a quick wrap up of the things I got accomplished today. It's kind of dark since we've had lots of rain this afternoon. Well, I'm going to say lots of rain, but we've had rain, and I was hoping that it didn't get too wet down here because we're in the process of doing the the drainage solution down here, and I don't want all this garbage in here to get inside our newly installed grading system inside here for the drain. They weren't able to complete this portion yet today, but they got started on that, and they got the catch basin done inside there. We got some of the cement, and they're working to get that cleaned up. I will probably make a comment tomorrow that we get all this stuff inside here. We try to dig it up and get it out of the area inside the stairwell. That way, if we get a super heavy rain, it doesn't put it all inside the pipe system that we already have inside here. You'll see right here, this wasn't done yesterday, so they were working on a skim coat. Lots of skim coat down inside of here. Another layer, they did other layers of skim coat on this wall. They were doing skim coat, even, I don't know if it's the second or third layer of skim coat inside the storage room, but they were very busy inside here. I think even inside the generator room they were doing. What we were focused on, you see, the old pump is back in action again. So we hooked up the pump today because the pump and everything is turned on. It's actually energized right now. And my builder and I, we tested out all the pipes inside the CR. You know that new diverter, the new diverter and a new control valve and all inside there. And what we did, it's very dark in here, so you're not going to see too much, I don't believe. But we connected everything. Everything you see, it's very dark in here. So we capped this off. This would normally go up to the hot water heater device up here, but we tapped it from the input to the output. It's so that we could test, and we have the shower head. This is the shower head connection. We tapped it off also. We brought the shower head itself, which is right here, and this is like a this is very nice. It's a very nice. I don't know if you can see from inside. It's one of those rain shower head things. But what we did is we hooked it up. We did a dry run to make sure it fits right and it hugs the ceiling right, and it doesn't bang into the ceiling. So this is just a temporary connection. We'll take that off. We'll put the shower head on later, and we left enough room inside there so that in the event we don't just paint it, if we want to put tile or some kind of nice decorative stone for the roofing, we have enough area and the shower head doesn't hit that. So that's mostly, and you know, yesterday they poured the concrete. It was either this morning or yesterday. All the concrete is poured for the arch, for the entranceway. So that is done, except for the top section. It's got the gap like we had when we did the dining room and from the great room into the sunroom. So they will, I expect tomorrow they will finish that off, and possibly a day after that they can pull that form off. Let's go up to the first floor and take a look and see what got done up there. So on the first floor, I know they were working inside the CR. They were working on this wall over here. So you can see this wall has the plaster. It's up on there. They will continue to work on this. I would be willing to bet tomorrow. And this is the wall where the mirror and the sink and the toilet and the shower, all this will be done, I believe, tomorrow. Then I know they were also working on this back lanai. Yes, you see it's still all wet over there. So they did that area. And I think that was most of the area that they did here. And of course, you saw all day long, they were up on the roof. I didn't get a lot of good pictures. We will focus a little bit more on the roof truss when the weather's a little bit better. I was surprised that they had to come down a couple times with the rain. Of course, they're using a welder, a stick welder, and anything that has to do with electricity, we have to be very cautious about that. So we probably got a little over a half a day of the work the other time they were inside here. And somebody was asking how many people are on the crew for the roofing team, and I said, I thought it was 3, but no, it's 5. We have 5 people on the roofing team. Well, today, you know, we talked about the window. We had the window folks out here, and these 2 are going to be the windows that open up with a motor. And you can see there's a piece of conduit on that one, and there's a piece of conduit up there on that one as well. And those are the ones that are providing power, but they also need to go to it's like a power supply. I think it's like a AC to DC power supply, and we have to find a place for it to go, but it needs to be accessible. So what we are going to do, since this whole center is going to have an extended area for a feature, and we can actually embed stuff inside there, we are going to take the connections from both of those, and we're going to run the power supply, and we're going to put it somewhere on this wall right here, because it needs to be accessible in the event that you need to do any type of maintenance if it goes bad or something like that. So we'll make some niches. I don't know if there's one on each side, but we will do it in this area so we can work on it from this area if and when it ever needs to be maintained. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. We had a pretty successful day today. Even though we had some issues with the weather, work continued and went on, and I saw a lot of progress for today. So that's a good thing. And tomorrow is going to be Thursday. And tomorrow is going to be build day 133. Yes, build day 133 here on the construction schedule out at FELIZ. So until tomorrow, if you enjoyed today's video, if you found it informative, if you found it the least bit entertaining, please give me a thumbs up, please share. And if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream in the bottom right hand of your screen, and you will be a subscriber, and you will get notified of the latest and greatest updates as I push them every evening. So anyway, until tomorrow, you have a wonderful day.